Holy shit. That was an unbelievable grand final. Holy crap, man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the NRL 2025 Grand Final review between the Broncos and the Storm. I hope everyone is doing well on this Sunday night, October 5th. The Grand Final was unbelievable. The Broncos came back like they have in every finals game this final series. They came back and they beat the Melbourne Storm 26 points to 22. Hope everyone is doing well. The Broncos are the premiers. They have won the 2025 Grand Final. The Broncos are the champions. Congratulations to them. As a Cowboys supporter, it's very hard to be happy for the Broncos. The only person I'm happy for is my brother. My brother flew down to Sydney to attend this grand final as he is a Broncos fan, and I'm happy for him. Honestly, I am happy for my brother. Outside of that, I couldn't care about the Broncos. I generally don't give a shit, but I'm happy for my brother. He went down there. He experienced a cool stadium. His team won the grand final. I'm very happy for him, but goodness me. The rest of it, the Broncos winning the comp, yeah, look, what do you say, right? Unbelievable. I don't like the Broncos, but you got to give them credit where credit's due, man. Before we go any further, I want to say hello to the live chat. Hello to everybody in the live chat. Hope everyone's well. Hello to Bosky. Hello to Michael. Hello to Martin. Hello to Jeffrey, everyone that's tuning in. William, Storm fan, Dolphins fan. Everybody that is watching. I want to say welcome to all the new viewers. I want to say hello to the regular viewers and everyone that's watching. Don't forget, guys, like the stream. Like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. There is Pay ID options available. There's PayPal. There's Super Chats. There are options if you want to donate to the channel. Anyway, wow, what a game, man. We're going to do some player ratings. We're going to talk about the grand final. We're going to talk about some of the big moments. What an unbelievable grand final it was. I got to say, man, the Broncos, fair play to them, right? Fair play to them. Have a look at the final series, right? So if you look at it like this, going into round 27, the Broncos had to beat Melbourne at Suncorp Stadium to confirm a spot in the top four. They end up beating Melbourne in that game, 30 points to 14. They get to the finals. They get to week one. They have to travel down to Canberra. They beat the Raiders in that incredible 94-minute game that was off its head in extra time, eventually led to Golden Point. Ben Hunt was the winner on that occasion, as we know. Brisbane get a week off, which I think they needed, right? They go into a prelim final at Suncorp against the Panthers. They were down 14-0 at halftime in that game. They came back, and in the final 5 minutes, Reece Walsh set up a try for Dean Mariner, who ended up scoring and winning the game, essentially, with the Adam Reynolds conversion. And then we get to tonight, where the Broncos, once again, were down by 10 points. They were down by a decent margin in a grand final. And they come back from 16 in week one. They come back from 14 in week two. And in the big one, the grand final, they come back from fucking 10 points, 22-12 down at halftime, and they come back to win 26 points to 22. Now, I know a lot of things that everyone says tonight is probably going to be an overreaction in some parts, right? But let me just say this. The performance of Reece Walsh tonight in that grand final. It's one of the best individual performances I've seen in a grand final in a couple of years. It's up there with Nathan Cleary of 2023. It was unbelievable. The way Reece Walsh were able to, get the Broncos back into it. He set up the first try for Dean Mariner. He scored one himself. That was unbelievable. He set up Shibasaki on 2 occasions. Did Reece Walsh set up every try? Let me look at the stats here. Okay, no, not every try, but he had 3 try assists. Ezra Mann set up 1 for Shibasaki, but out of the 5 tries that the Broncos scored, Reece Walsh set up 3 of them, and he scored 1 himself. Like, the bloke couldn't have been more in the game than what he was. It was absolutely unbelievable. Now, on the Melbourne Storm side of things, they got to be feeling gutted, right? They were in the grand final last year against Penrith, where they came first and they were minor premiers. And then obviously they lost that grand final to Penrith by 8 points. And then fast forward 12 months, they come second, another top 2 finish for the Storm. And they lose this grand final after leading by 10 points. How rare is it? Like, you never see a Melbourne team lead by 10 points in a grand final and get run down. Like, it just doesn't happen, but it happened. It can happen, and it did happen. Like, it's unbelievable. The Broncos, absolutely unbelievable. Now, the try scorers from the game, right? There was tries everywhere. So, for the Broncos, Dean Mariner got a double. Shibasaki got a double. Reece Walsh got 1. And for the Storm, Nick Meaney got 1. Eli Katoa got 1. Will Warbrick got 1. And Jerome Hughes got 1 as well. Just simply unbelievable, to be honest. Absolutely friggin' unbelievable. Couldn't believe what I was watching tonight, man. Ridiculous. Wow. Well, alright. What's this? 12 points. No. It was 10, bro. It was 22-12. It was 22-12. And then I think they scored the next one and missed the kick. But, wow. Just wow. It was a grand final for the ages, let's be honest. It really was. Yeah, a grand final for the ages. All of Queensland are buzzing. I'd be staying away. Well, bro, the Caxton Street. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine being at the Caxton Hotel right now? That would be off its head. You wouldn't be able to breathe on Caxton Street. That shit would be going crazy right now. Literally, when the Broncos won, my brother FaceTimed me after about 3 or 4 minutes when the game ended. He was just in tears. He was screaming and he was soaking it all in. Absolutely soaking it in. Now, let's just get into it. I want to talk about a couple of things, right? Melbourne. Look, going into this grand final, yes, Melbourne were favourites. And I didn't want to use the choke term. But when you look at the circumstances of what occurred, Adam Reynolds doing his hamstring, ruled out for the game. Ben Hunt getting knocked out with 8 minutes to go. Brisbane lost both of their starting halves. And obviously, Karapani was off for a HIA in the final 15 minutes. So Brisbane had back rowers. I think they had Willison playing in the centres. And then I think Jordan Ricky was in the centres at one point as well. And then they had Tyson Smoothy defending in the halves with Ezra Mann. Like, Brisbane could have easily lost this game and Melbourne could have stolen a grand final. But it's just, when you look at those circumstances, Reynolds getting injured, Ben Hunt getting knocked out, Karapani's HIA, the fact that Melbourne didn't capitalise and win is insane. Like, I don't want to use the word choke, but it kind of is a choke, isn't it? Like, Brisbane lose Reynolds, Hunt, Karapani. They lose all three of them. They don't return. They led 22-12 at a half time. It's definitely a grand final choke, in my opinion. You know, we talk about, you know, there's been a couple of grand final chokes over the years. Obviously, 2023 for Brisbane. 1999 when the Dragons blew that lead against Melbourne. But this is up there with them, in my opinion. This is up there with them. This is right up there with them. They led by 10. Brisbane lose both of their starting halves, and it's crazy. Now, if you go back to this as well, and this is another thing that I want to mention, it was 22-12. Tui Kamikamifa drops the ball off the grubber kick. He drops the ball over the try line. If he scores that try, Kamikamifa, Melbourne go 28-12 up, and it's probably game over. I don't think Brisbane come back from 28-12. But Reece Walsh again, try-saving tackle. Like, there were so many things Reece Walsh did in this game that was ridiculous. And I know people are going to think we're over-gloating Reece Walsh, but every try-scoring situation, he was involved in everything. Defensively, he was involved in everything. The bloke had a 10 out of 10 game, to put it blunt. The bloke had a 10 out of 10 game. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Let's get to some player ratings, guys. Let's get to some player ratings. We're going to rate the Melbourne Storm team first, and then we're going to get onto the Broncos. So, obviously, 10 is the perfect game. 1 is the worst. 5 is average. So, if you guys in the live chat want to get involved, you just have to write the player's name and put a number next to them. So, you know, you could write 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 8 out of 10, whatever you want, right? So, let's begin. Ryan Papenhuyzen. I'm going to give Ryan Papenhuyzen a 7 out of 10. I thought he tried really hard, and it wasn't a great game from Papenhuyzen, but Thorny was gutsy, in my opinion. Thorny played pretty well. So, 7 out of 10 for Papenhuyzen. Will Warbrick. Look, Warbrick had some errors, and he had some things that he'd like back, but Thorny was a workhorse. I'm going to give Warbrick a 6.5 out of 10. Thorny tried hard. Xavier Coates. Where was Xavier Coates? He had a very quiet game, man. I'm gonna be honest here. Xavier Coates for me is getting a 4 out of 10. I thought he was very quiet, man. I wasn't impressed with Xavier Coates. I know he didn't get much ball, but he was quiet, man. 4 out of 10 for Coates. Jack Howarth. I'm not going to rate Jack Howarth because he got injured within like 15 minutes. So Jack Howarth is just going to get a nah. Not going to rate that. Nick Meaney. Now, Nick Meaney had a good start, and then he got absolutely destroyed by Shibasaki. So for me, Nick Meaney gets a 5 out of 10. A 5 for Meaney. Definitely an average game. Cameron Munster. Look, not a great performance from Cameron Munster. Definitely quiet. I'll give Munster a 4.5. I don't think Munster played well, man. Jerome Hughes. Jerome Hughes had an all right game. Probably a 6 out of 10 for Jerome Hughes. It was decent. I thought it was okay. 6 out of 10 for Hughes. Stefano, the man that threw out a few bars this week, talked a bit of shit about certain players. He didn't have the greatest game. Only ran for 99 meters. Stefano, for me, is getting a 4. Didn't play great. Did not play great. 4 out of 10 for Stefano. Josh King. Thought Josh King worked really hard, man. I thought he was a workhorse for Melbourne. I'll give him a 6.5. Thought Josh King tried really hard. Harry Grant. Again, he had a good first half, Harry Grant, but second half, he just wasn't really in the game, was he? 5 out of 10 for Harry Grant. 5 out of 10. Just probably an average game. Didn't really stand out, unfortunately, for him. Sean Bloor. For Sean Bloor was actually, thought he worked really hard. Made a lot of big tackles on the edge. Thought he handled Jordan Ricky pretty well. I'm going to give Sean Bloor a 5 point. Oh, you know what? I'll give him a 6. I'll give Sean Bloor a 6 out of 10. Thought he tried really hard. Eli Katoa, probably Melbourne's best player, to be completely honest with you. I thought he was probably their best. Eli Katoa, for me, 8 out of 10. Thought he was really good for Melbourne tonight. Scored a try and was in everything. Made a lot of tackles. Katoa was great. 8 out of 10 in my opinion. Trent Liero. Now, he got sin bin at the end for that shoulder to the head, whatever it was. It was stupid. Didn't need to do it. Trent Liero, look, didn't have a great game in my opinion. Just made a bunch of tackles, didn't he? He made 48 tackles, which is great. Like, that's 48 tackles as a workhorse performance, but didn't really have much impact on the game itself. So, Trent Liero for me gets a 5. 5 out of 10 for Trent Liero. Now we get to the bench. Wishart. Now he had to come on and play in the centers. Forney tried hard. Wishart. Forney kept Staggs. He defended him quite well for the most part, except for when Dean Mariner scored a couple of tries. I'm going to give Wishart a 5. I don't think it was terrible. He was out of position. Forney handled himself all right. 5 out of 10 for Wishy. Lasati, and now he didn't get many minutes, did he? Well, he played 27 minutes, but he didn't do much. He just made tackles. Lasati, 4 out of 10. And Tui Kamikamifa, he only played 20 minutes. He had pretty good impact, in my opinion, Kamikamifa, but he didn't play long enough. So I'll give Tui Kamikamifa a 4.5 out of 10. And Alex McDonald, who only played 15 minutes, again, no real impact. Probably a 3 out of 10 for Alex McDonald. Yeah, well, exactly. Kamika dropped it -4. Could have been 28-12, man. Could have been 28-12 if they scored that try. Right, let's get to the Broncos player ratings. Reece Walsh, I mean, seriously. He won the Clive Churchill medal. He did absolutely everything. 3 try assists. Scored a try himself. Like, it was incredible. Try-saving tackles on Ryan Pappenhausen. Walsh, 10 out of 10. That was a world-class performance, man. Joash Karapani. I thought Karapani was good. I thought he was really solid. I'll give him a 6.5 out of 10. Dean Mariner on the wing. He was great, man. Dean Mariner was great. I'm going to give Mariner an 8.5 out of 10. Thought he was outstanding, guys. Really impressed with Mariner. Staggs, probably a little quiet. Had a couple of good runs here and there, but we've seen better games from Staggs, so I'll give him a 6.5. Jemet Shibasaki. Now, this one is a great story. He was on a train and trial deal. He bounced back to rugby league form, played Origin this year. Shibasaki was great in this grand final. I thought his preliminary final was quiet against Penrith, but tonight, Shibasaki was fantastic. I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. He had a blinder of a game. Ben Hunt. Now, Ben Hunt, obviously, he got knocked out late, but before that, wasn't a great performance from Ben Hunt. I thought he was very average. His first half was not good either. So Ben Hunt probably gets a 4 out of 10. Didn't have a great game. Now, Adam Reynolds, again, he didn't run the ball much, but he kicked well. Again, he got injured after half an hour, so I'll just give Reynolds a 5. I'll just give him a 5 because of the injury. Corey Jensen, he wasn't too bad. I thought he had a couple of good runs and stuff, but not the greatest game from Corey Jensen. I'll give Corey Jensen a 5 point. Well, I'll just give him a 5, I reckon. Corey Pakes, I thought he was underrated in this game. Corey Pakes didn't run the ball much, but thought he made a lot of big tackles, man. I thought he was good, Pakes. I'll give him a 6.5. Pakes was good. He was really good. Payne Haas. Unbelievable, man. Now, Payne Haas, He didn't play 80 minutes like he did in the prelim. He only played 55 minutes, which is good, but thought he would have played more minutes than this. Payne Haas ran for 118 meters. Haas was insane, man. I'm going to give Payne Haas I'll give him a 7. Like, could have been better, but 7 out of 10 for Payne Haas, in my opinion. Brendan Piakura, he played pretty well. Did go for a HIA at one point, came back. Piakura was solid. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Jordan Ricky, as you guys may know, I've never really been a Jordan Ricky fan. I've never really been much of a fan of him or really rated him that much, but he was good in this grand final, man. He was good. He only missed 1 tackle too. Like, he was really good, Jordan Ricky. Hang on, he missed 6 tackles, but he made 31 or so. He worked really hard, Ricky. I'll give him a 7. 7 out of 10 for Jordan Ricky. Thought he was good. Paddy Carrigan played the full 80, 136 run meters. How many tackles did he have? 47 tackles. Only missed 1. Carrigan deserves credit. 8.5 for Carrigan. Outstanding performance. Ezra Mann. Like him or hate him, it's your opinion, but Ezra Mann's performance in this grand final was good. He played good, brought a lot of impact off the bench. Forney was solid as 8 out of 10 for Ezra Mann. He was outstanding. Kobe Hetherington off the bench. I got to give this guy credit, man. Apparently he's going to Manly next year from what I've been hearing. Kobe Hetherington was fantastic in this game. The impact he brought off the bench was terrific, man. Kobe Hetherington, for me, gets a 7 out of 10. He was strong. Xavier Willison, very similar. Very strong performance off the bench. I'll give him a 6 out of 10 as well. Actually, I'll give him a 7. Same as Kobe. Kobe and Willison both get a 7 out of 10 for me. They were great. And Tyson Smoothy, who's going to bloody Wakefield, he had to come on and make tackles and do a job essentially for 20 minutes, and now Forney did very well. So Tyson Smoothy, for me, he is getting a solid 5 out of 10. What a performance. What a game, but what a game. The Broncos win the grand final for the first time since 2006. And how ironic. It's against the team that they beat in their last grand final, the Melbourne Storm. So, just crazy stuff, man. Now, I want to talk about the Storm for a moment. And, their fans have got to be gutted a little bit. Like, they made the grand final last year and they got beat. Like, losing back-to-back grand finals, it has to have some sort of effect mentally, right? Like, I know they've got superstar players everywhere with Harry Grant, Cameron Munster, Jerome Hughes, Ryan Papenhuyzen, Eli Katoa. Like, Melbourne have got quality all over the park. Stefano's an origin forward. Like, they've got quality players. But to lose back-to-back grand finals, mentally, guys, it's got to take a hit. Like, I'm not saying that Melbourne next year are going to, finish like 5th or 6th or fall down a few spots, but like, it's got to be mentally draining to make 2 grand finals in a row, lose them both, and then everyone thinks they're going to be second, second, or third again next year. Like, it's hard to do. Like, obviously, Melbourne are a club. They always bounce back and they always, they always define the odds and they always finish top 4. But mentally, I have some concerns next year. Like, it just, I don't know, man. It's got to take its toll, man. It's got to take its toll at some point. Like, if Melbourne finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th next year, like, that's just standard Melbourne Storm. But mentally, losing 2 grand finals in a row, it's got to have some sort of effect, right? It just has to. It honestly has to, man. And for the Broncos, again, like, if Brisbane had lost this grand final, like it would have been similar. Losing 2 grand finals in 3 years, like that would affect you as well. So, if Brisbane had lost this game at the end, going into next year, I'd have concerns about Brisbane if they could, if they could do it again, if they could get back up there. So, mentally, I have some concerns about the Melbourne Storm. Now, a couple of things. A lot of people blowing up about how Reece Walsh wasn't sin-binned in the first half. Look, I think he's lucky. I'll say that, guys. I think he's very lucky. Reece Walsh probably should have been sin-binned. If that was a round 7 game, a round 15 game, a round 21, a round 24 game, he probably goes to the bin, right? He probably goes to the bin. But he got away with it. And obviously, Liero got binned in the final 2 minutes. I think the difference is Liero come flying out of the line at full speed, trying to put pressure, and he's gone in there with no care for the opposition player whatsoever, and he's hit him in the head with a shoulder. Like, I think that's why Liero was binned. Like, the Reece Walsh one, I think it was just a bit of momentum, sort of players were slipping, unfortunate situation. I think that's what it was. Liero just come out of the line and went whack. But, yeah, it is what it is, man. Like, it's a tough call. It's probably one that Melbourne fans are fuming about. But with all due respect to Melbourne fans, and I don't want to upset them even more than they are, because I know they're probably feeling like shit right now. But Melbourne, they led 22-12 at halftime. They were up by 10 points in a grand final. And the Broncos lost their starting halves, Hunt, Reynolds, and an outside back, a winger, and Karapani. And Melbourne still couldn't get over the line and win the game. So I think it's on Melbourne. Like, yes, there was some bad referee decisions in this game. There was too many 6-agains in the first half. I think there was 7 6-agains in the first half. I think it was 4-3 Melbourne. But Melbourne are going to take accountability and finish off the game. It's on them. You lead by 10 in the grand final. It's your fault if you lose from there. It really is. And the Broncos lost both their halves. Like, Reynolds got injured in the 50th minute. Unbelievable. Ben Hunt comes on, or Ben Hunt goes to the halves. He gets knocked out with 8 minutes to go. Like, Melbourne can whinge about some calls all they want, but in my opinion, it was their game to win, and they lost it. So it's unfortunate, but that's just how it goes, man. Broncos, man, can they do it again next year? Who knows? Who the hell knows? But fair play to Brisbane. Fair play to them. They deserve to win the comp tonight, and well done to them, I guess. Reece Walsh's performance, but was something else. That was up there with one of the best grand final performances in a long time. Like, I think it's better than Cleary's in 23. I think it is. Like, they scored 5 tries, Brisbane. 3 tries they scored were try assists from Reece Walsh. The other one was a Walsh try, and then there was one where Walsh was involved, but he didn't have the try assist. So, unbelievable performance. Anyway, guys, that is where the review is going to come to an end. Thank you all so much for watching. Damn, bloody face is itchy now. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. Like and subscribe to the channel. Broncos are the premiers. Well done to them. 2025 premiers are the Brisbane Broncos. Thanks for watching, guys. I might do a live stream tomorrow night on something. We'll see how we go. But like and subscribe. And see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. The Broncos are the 2025 premiers.